There is more to come on this story. A wave of sexual misconduct allegations hitting from Hollywood to Capitol Hill, prompting some Democrats to revisit old claims, including renewed concern about serious accusations against Bill Clinton. Fox News contributor Bernie Goldberg live with us today in sunny Miami. Bernie, good day to you and good morning.
Hey, Bill.
Why do you believe now, 20 years later, this seems to be boomeranging today?
Because 25 years after the fact, it's safe. It's safe to come out against Bill Clinton. Back then, back in the 90s, liberal Democrats, they rallied around Bill Clinton, basically for one reason, Bill. He was a Democrat who was for abortion rights, which was the number one issue for liberal Democrats. If he had been a Republican, if he had been a conservative against abortion rights, they would have hammered him. But today, Bill Clinton is of no use to the Democratic Party. He's the elephant sitting on the couch in the living room. You can't go after everybody else and pretend that Bill Clinton didn't do what he did. And you know what else? Hillary Clinton is of no use to the Democratic Party. If she had been elected president, if she were President Clinton right now, you wouldn't see this barrage of liberals going after Bill Clinton.
You don't think so, huh? Because there's
no, because it would weaken her. It would weaken her presidency. That's why. And I don't think so.
Do you remember the story of Juanita Broderick? Remember that story?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
She did an interview with NBC.
I remember that very well.
She did an interview with NBC, and they held the interview, I think, until after the impeachment process concluded in the U.S. House. That is starting to get a second look as well. And you examine the media for a living. What do you think of that?
Yeah, well, the reason, I know a little about this. The reason they held it is because the president of NBC News at the time said that he didn't want to influence the proceedings, the impeachment proceedings. Well, I don't know that that he should be concerned about influencing the proceedings. It should matter if the story was correct or not. Lisa Myers did the story. They held it. And if my recollection is correct, and I think it is, Dorothy Rabinowitz of the Wall Street Journal wound up breaking the story by going down to Texas and interviewing Juanita Broderick. And the New York Times at the time, see, the New York Times has a column the other day by a columnist named Michelle Goldberg, no relation. And she says, Democrats are guilty of apologizing for Clinton when they shouldn't have. She's right about that. And she said, I believe Juanita. Well, you know what? Better late than never, because liberal Democrats didn't believe Juanita back then. And she made a credible accusation that Bill Clinton, when he was Attorney General of Arkansas, raped her. A credible accusation. And liberal Democrats didn't want any part of that. And the New York Times that published this column the other day, I believe Juanita, they didn't play up that story. They played down that story. 25 years later, it's safe.
No. That goes to this New York Democrat. Kirsten Gillibrand, interview with the New York Times, Democratic Senator of New York. The following question and then the answer. Listen carefully.
Is it your view that President Clinton should have stepped down at that time, given the allegations?
Yes, I think that is the appropriate response. But I think things have changed today, and I think under those circumstances, there should be a very different reaction.
Yeah, times are changing indeed in 2017 and going forward. Bernie, do you believe Bill Clinton apologizes on some day at some point or not?
You know, my crystal ball isn't working today. I don't know, but I don't even know that he's going to be called upon to apologize. I mean, if he's in a public forum and some reporter says, do you feel bad about what you did? He might say, yes, I do, and that'll be the end of it. But on the Gillibrand statement, you know, good. I'm glad she said it. Pardon the cliche, better late than never. But I give one cheer to her and the other liberal Democrats who finally have found their voice, who finally are saying what should have been said 25 years ago. But 25 years ago, it took courage for a liberal Democrat to speak out against a Democratic president who was for abortion rights. And today, it takes no courage at all. It's kind of easy. And they can't ignore it. They can't ignore it. They look foolish if they ignore it.
Thank you, Bernie. It's not over, and I would dare suggest it's probably not over for both sides. Have a good weekend.
Right.
Thank you.
You too, Bill.